so many big words. Thank you for not judging us. And I would be loath to do that. But on that evening, it was at an old train station. The venue is an old train station. It was incredibly cool. And after the show, I noticed the security guys all had sidearms. And there's security in some shows. The bigger the city, there's security here and there. But they don't have guns. And after the show, I stagger off stage. And I'm in this little backstage area with a coffee machine and some office furniture to make sure I'm all comfortable. And these guys, just are hanging around. And that's when I notice that they're carrying a piece. And there's a lot of guns around me. I said, fellas, why are we packing? And I met the main guy, an ex-Marine, is his security squad. And I said, are you all called in for special circumstances like VIPs, those who are kidnappable? And he said, yeah. I said, is it the promoter who basically thought there might be some kind of turbulence that would require men and women who are packing, who are ready to get into a conflict situation that might require gunfire? He said, yeah. I said, wow. And past that, it's been a fantastic time. As I stand here talking to you, the President of the United States is staring at Mr. Mitt Romney, and they're having a town hall debate. Don't get me wrong when I say I don't care about the debates that much. Don't get me wrong. Well, and here's why. Allow me to explain briefly. I don't not care about democracy. I don't not care about the elections. Oh, I'm voting. I'm voting. And it doesn't matter who I'm voting for in that it's my business. And it doesn't matter who you're voting for to me as long as you do vote. In that if you vote for the person I'm not voting for, we might have some disagreements. I still want you and I to get up the road together. And I think our disagreements are far outshined by our agreements and our common needs and goals to get up the road together. So everyone gets, basically a good way. And so, and here's the rub. I do not think at this point, or perhaps I project too much, I don't think there's any undecided voters. I mean, it's a huge country with hundreds of millions of people. There might be like 5 of them. I think you can fit all the undecided voters in the back of a Hyundai. I mean, I think there is a wide swatch of Americans who have decided that neither the Republican Party or the Democratic Party now represents them. Maybe in years before they were Republican or they were a Democrat, and they looked at their party where it is now, and they're like, I don't know that party anymore. It's no longer my party. I don't like those guys. They're freaking me out, but my own team has seemed to have abandoned me. And when you get jilted by politicians, like, who would be surprised? But we're humans, so we have real emotion. You say, wow, you no longer are representing me. I'm not taking this lightly. I'm angry, and I'm taking my vote elsewhere. And there's guys like Dr. Ron Paul, who have, and that makes it a very interesting conversation in this century. I really think, I have no crystal ball, but I think that a third-party candidate will be a real factor in the elections to come. But right now, for the year 2012, Mr. Romney and Mr. Obama, I don't think there's a third party that's really going to alter this thing that's going to happen in November. And so the idea of an undecided voter, like someone looking at both of these men and what they represent and what they've been saying with 3 cameras on them at all times, for someone to sit on the fence at this point, like, well, I don't know. That's incredible to me. But on the other hand, what do I know? I know myself, and I know I'm rarely undecided on anything. I am, like a lot of you, opinionated from here down to my shoes. And so, there's nothing that can be said in these debates now that will alter my decision as to who I'm going to vote for. The candidate that I want to become president of the United States could show up naked except for a bow tie and just say for 90 minutes. I'm still going to vote for him. He could say any damn thing. He could flash the audience from a sperm-covered trench coat. Because on the other side, they trip me out. And I do not know you yet, But I don't assume. I trust that you're kind of sort of like me, real busy all the time, overworked, underappreciated, underslept, over budget, and behind on schedule. And so why would you have time to watch the RNC or the DNC a few weeks ago? Like, who has that kind of liquid time? It's like having liquid money. We have money set aside, we're going to go on a vacation. Probably not. You're probably going to try and keep the roof over your head and your kids fed. A vacation in Hawaii is probably not on the book right now. And so the idea of sitting home and reading a book, the idea of sitting and watching television for edification or to like further sharpen your opinion, many of us Americans do not have that kind of time. We're working like 1-point-something jobs to get point whatever we used to get 4 years ago. And so people are jamming. They're like thinking it out very carefully, trying to get to the end of the month, not get foreclosed upon, keep Junior and lima beans and beef, and get them off to school. That's the real world of adults that you and I live in. And so why would anyone have the time to sit around and basically watch the American Idol of American politics? And so I will admit, I'm not exactly addicted to all this stuff, but I think the pageantry and the big show of American politics, I quite like it. I enjoy the debates. I enjoy the DNC and the RNC, because to me, that's democracy. Kind of like an Ozzy Osbourne concert, kind of like NASCAR, because we're free to have that. Brightly colored, hurrah, hurrah, a lot of noise, confetti. It's cool. The hookers come to town, alcohol flows. That's America. It could never happen under Joseph Stalin. So we've got that. Anyway, every once in a while,